friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking my NEWTS TBR. So as you all know, for the Owls, I went for Care of Magical Creatures Professor at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. So I'm going to be continuing that path for my NEWTS. And for that, I will need 7 different prompts. If you don't know what the NEWTS are, they are standardized wizarding tests of the wizarding world at Hogwarts, and you first take the Owls, and then that decides what subjects you can take to continue on to try to get your NEWTS, and your NEWTS decide what kind of career you go into. And this was started by G from Book Roast. I will link her channel and the announcement video down below, and it will be taking place through the month of August. So the way this works is every book you read counts as an A, and then the next book counts as an E, and the next book counts as an O, and each specific subject. So you have to read the A prompt to get to the E, and you have to read the E prompt to get to the O. So I need 7 books this month because I need an O in Care of Magical Creatures, which means I need to complete A and then E and then O. And then I need an E in Defense Against the Dark Arts, so I need an A and then an E. And then I need 2 different E's in 2 different subjects, so that's 7 altogether. So we're gonna go through what my TBR is. First of all, I just thought this would be fun. Goblet of Fire mug here, and I put this, I don't typically like tea, but my mom just bought this apple cinnamon sugar tea, and I wanted to try it, so I thought I'd try it for the first time on camera because I think that'd be funny, and I of course had to put it in my Harry Potter mug. Okay, I actually think I like tea because that was delicious. Tastes like apple cider. Oh my goodness, guys, I like tea. I don't normally like tea. Like I typically call it dirt water or leaf water to my friends when they drink it, but this is really good. So I'm gonna be buying myself some apple cinnamon tea and drinking tea a little bit. So I got my tea here. Oh, now I could like spill the tea for videos because I have tea now. Wow, my life has forever changed. So I just like blacked out for a second. That was fun. Okay, so my TBR. So for the A in Care of Magical Creatures, you have to read a book that starts with A. I initially was going to read A Court of Wings and Ruin, but my friend Luli just started the series, and I thought it'd be fun to reread it and buddy read it with her, and then read A Court of Wings and Ruin together for the first time. So I'm gonna start back at A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I will link her channel down below. She does booktube, but she also does like just talks about life, and I just love her style of video, and she's so sweet, so definitely go check her out. But we will be reading A Court of Thorns and Roses together. So the next prompt for E in Care of Magical Creatures is to read a book that is under 300 pages. And for this, I chose The Vanishing Stair by Maureen Johnson. This was on my TBR about 2 months ago, and I think I've renewed it from the library like 3 or 4 times, so I need to finish this and get it back. This is the sequel to Truly Devious, and if you don't know, Truly Devious is a story of a girl who goes to a boarding school for gifted students, and she wants to be like a crime investigator detective, and so she is solving the case of the murder that happened at this school and during its founding years, and then another thing happens, and it's just a bunch of crossover between like the 1930s, I think it was, and present day, and it tells a perspective from when the original crime happened to present day, and it's just a really cool book. So this is the sequel to that. And for an O in Care of Magical Creatures, you have to read a book with a bird on the cover, and I have chosen The Storm Crow by Kalyn Josephson. And this tells the story of a princess who all she wants to do is be a crow rider, but all her crows were killed at a certain time. So she goes on a quest to try to find if there's any left after she's betrothed and she doesn't want to be, so she is forced to take action. And this definitely gives me Crown of Feathers vibes, and Crown of Feathers is one of my favorite reads of 2019, so I'm really excited to read this because it is on my most anticipated releases of the year. I'm just so excited. It's gonna be great. Then for an A in Defense Against the Dark Arts, you have to read a book with a cover that is black under the dust jacket, and for this I chose The Wicked King by Holly Black, and I will just prove to you that I got the edition that is, oh my goodness, black under the dust jacket. So this is the sequel to The Cruel Prince, and The Cruel Prince tells the story of these 3 sisters that were taken to this world of fairy against their will, and they are forced to live their lives in the world of fairy, and there's a lot of anti-heroism, and the characters are awful people, but the world building and the plot is really, really great. And as soon as I finished The Cruel Prince, I finished it this Monday, and it's now Saturday, so I finished it a couple days ago, and I just needed to pick up The Wicked King, so I somehow fit it into my TBR for the NEWTS. So, for an E in Defense Against the Dark Arts, in the announcement video that she did, she explained, alright, think of the first book from your TBR that comes to mind, and that has to be the book you chose. So when she said that, the first book that popped into my mind was Caraval by Stephanie Garber, and this tells the story of this nighttime performance that only happens every so often, and Scarlet wants to go more than anything, so her sister Tella takes her, but Tella gets kidnapped by the leader of this performance, and the entire performance is then based around whoever captures Tella first wins. So this is all about Scarlet trying to get back Tella, I believe. I've never read this book, so I'm super excited to start it, and I will let you know. So then I had to choose 2 secondary subjects to get an A in, and for those I chose Charms and Herbology. So for an A in Charms, you have to read a book with a gorgeous cover. And for this, I chose Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson, and I will be buddy reading this with Amber from Reading Infinitely, and I'm super excited because we've been talking almost every day about how badly we want to read this. Super, super excited to start it. We actually have a lot of books that we have the same from our TBR, so we might do more than one buddy read, but this is our primary buddy read. So excited. This tells the story of Elizabeth, who is the guard of these dormant living object things in the library, and somehow they escape, so she is forced to align herself with her most hated enemy and go on this quest to get back and save these objects, or something like that. I'm piecing together what I got from the synopsis and what I've heard other people say, so I might be wrong, but that is what I'm gathering from the hype of this book, and I'm just super excited because this book feels like it was just made for me. So yeah, if you couldn't tell, I'm super excited. And the last book on my TBR for the NEWTS is the A in Herbology, and for this you have to read an audiobook. And I think that has to do with because they had to put on the earmuffs, and she's trying to tailor these prompts that would have to do with Chamber of Secrets, and they wore earmuffs in Chamber of Secrets, and so you're wearing earmuffs or earbuds for Herbology. So for this, I have 2 options. I've got either Howls Moving Castle, which I think is going to be the book I choose, or the Deathly Hallows audiobook. And I'm going to be reading this either way, so I think I'm going to go with Howls Moving Castle and then just do this because I'm doing my once a month reading of the audiobooks of the reread of Harry Potter. So next month will be the Deathly Hallows, and I will be finished with the Harry Potter audiobook reread, but then I'll be moving on to Fantastic Beasts and Crimes of Grindelwald and Cursed Child and all that. And then starting all over at Sorcerer's Stone because I just love having these on a continuous loop of reading. So that was my TBR for the NEWTS exams. Let me know what's on your TBR down below in the comment section, and I cannot wait to start this journey for NEWTS. Let's see if I get to become a Hogwarts professor. But thank you guys so much for watching. I will check in with you guys in my next video. Bye!